Hey, good morning, Georgia. It's Tim Eccles, Vice Chair of the Georgia Public Service Commission in deep South Georgia, Albany today, speaking at the Rotary Club in just a bit. My assistant, though, Faith, you're up north.
I am. I'm in Newton County at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all still living the virtual life, it seems like. We've got some great guests, though, today because we're going to be talking about a city on the very other side of the state, deep southeast Georgia, pretty close to Florida, down in St. Mary's. Faith, have you ever been to St. Mary's?
I have been near St. Mary's, been to Brunswick, and I've driven, that coastline heading down to Florida. It's beautiful, beautiful area.
Well, if you ever go to Cumberland Island, if you go by the ferry, you'll go to St. Mary's and you'll get on the boat there. We're going to talk to Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth, you work with the city. We're going to talk a little bit about economic development in the city and that Cumberland Ferry and the economic impact that Cumberland Island has on your city. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And we got Judy Riccio. Judy, we're going to be, as always, talking about the blight we call human trafficking and what's being done about it. Faith's going to take you through some questions, and we're going to learn about all the good work that you're doing. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, we'll drop you guys to the green room and introduce folks to Wilson Mallard. Wilson, are you in North or South Georgia today?
I am in downtown Atlanta today. The skies are clear.
Yeah, that's great. Wilson works with Georgia Power and works in that renewable area. How long you been with the company, Wilson?
Believe it or not, this is my 25th year, Commissioner Eccles, and I've been working on renewables for more than half of that, about 13 or 14 years.
Wow. Solar's getting to be really popular. I'm down here in Albany. Just had a breakfast a few minutes ago with a gentleman who wants to build 35 net zero homes in Valdosta, Georgia. You guys have experimented with Pulte and doing solar and batteries. You did your green energy block program. You've got the community solar. You've got the utility scale. You got the distributor. You have done solar every which way that can be done. Has it been really fun learning as you've gone through this?
Well, it has, and what you're describing really is the evolution of solar that we've seen here in Georgia, and I'm just really proud of the way that we've gone about it. We've done it in a way that make sure that we deliver benefits to all customers in Georgia. And so Georgia didn't go too fast back when solar costs were still relatively high, but through the leadership of the commission, once the cost and the technology got to a point that it could deliver benefits for customers, we really have seen solar take off. And through our IRP process, the growth of solar just continues to expand, delivering those benefits to all Georgia Power customers.
Wilson, I had a chance. I don't go to St. Mary's all the time, but I go to Cumberland Island occasionally with my daughter and do some hiking. But had a chance to go over to the sub base, and over there on that housing side, a lot of solar. Folks wouldn't see it from the road, but these military solar projects that the commission approved for Georgia Power to build, they have had a lot of benefit. And I'm so excited that they've all been built. I'm here in Albany now. There's one right here on the marine logistics space. Tell me about the solar at the sub base.
So the solar at the sub base is part of that broad portfolio of different size, different types of solar projects. That solar project is a big one. It's 30 megawatts. Just to put that in perspective, a big box store like a Walmart uses about a megawatt of electricity. So it's a pretty big facility. It became COD in 2016. There's over 132,000 individual solar modules there. And importantly, Commissioner, it was approved by the Public Service Commission in our IRP process. There was actually a lot of creativity demonstrated to approve the portfolio of military projects. You mentioned MCLB. There's actually a portfolio. The original one was 5 projects. We've now added projects at other Air Force bases as well. But it really is a result of that leadership of the Public Service Commission. I don't know if you remember, Commissioner, but we actually converted some unused capacity for renewables that wasn't going anywhere, converted it into capacity for the military bases, and it's become this really successful program whereby we're able to put this solar on the ground. It delivers benefits to the region. There's a local renewable source right there. It's part of a portfolio that was brought in on time, under budget. It helps support the base's needs as well. The facility there at Kings Bay that you're talking about, the energy flows to the grid most all of the time to benefit all customers, but there's the ability for that solar energy to support the resiliency of the base. And so we're working directly with the base and with all of our military customers to help them understand what it would take to be able to create a resiliency solution so that these existing solar facilities can be used to support the base in times of grid outage. So it really is. This project is just a great example to me. It's a win for everybody, the base, the local community, and all Georgia Power customers.
Wilson, I'm told, and Faith, your brother is in the Air Force and flies very fast airplanes. And I am told that Georgia has more Department of Defense solar than any other state, including California. Is that right?
Me? I don't know.
I'm sorry. I was asking Wilson. I was asking Wilson. Sorry, Faith.
I think that's true, Commissioner. Don't put me on the record there. If we're not the top, we're in the top couple or 3. And again, we do have solar deployed by Georgia Power at all of the major military installations in the state. It's again a testament to that forward thinking that we had, and to know now that these facilities are on or adjacent to our military bases and available to help serve them and to help support their future resiliency efforts really is just a testament to that vision that the Public Service Commission had.
I remember when we were thinking about this, General Aycock came down from the Pentagon and was kind of courting us on this. And I remember the commissioners talking back then about base closures and the impact that a base closure has. I don't know if you remember the Navy school in Athens that was closed. But whenever a base closes, it has an economic impact on a community. And Faith, I don't know if you've ever been to Fort Benning or you've been to the Warner Robins Air Force Base, but if a base like that closed with the thousands and thousands of employees that it has, it would be devastating on Warner Robins or Columbus if Fort Stewart closed in Hinesville. And since the military, the Pentagon was sending orders down to all of their bases, get some local energy, do some renewable energy, work on resilience. Wilson, you guys came forward and the commissioners totally agreed and approved this. Let's have the power company build this. So Army, Navy, Air Force, you're not going to have to spend your money on this. We're going to build it. We're going to let our customers benefit from it, but it's going to be on your land. You're going to get the electrons before anybody gets the electrons. I mean, Wilson, that has been such an important part of that formula.
It really has, Commissioner. And again, just a creative use of capacity dedicated for renewables, part of this broader portfolio. Georgia Power really only owns a small portion of the total renewable portfolio here in Georgia. The majority we do procure through those long-term purchase power agreements. But for these cases, it just made sense. And again, through the regulatory process to come up with a design with some limitations to make sure that the project's cost was such that it was going to come in a way that can benefit customers for the long term. It was looking back, it was a no-brainer, but at the time we sure did have lots of hills to climb and lots of things to figure out to do these first of a kind type projects here in Georgia.
Well, Wilson, thanks for being on today. Let me ask you, have you been to many of the barrier islands in Georgia, Cumberland, or going up, to all of those different islands? We have 100 miles of coast down there.
I sure have. I enjoy it a lot. Spent the night out of doors on Cumberland Island before, and that's a interesting experience. And then a more commercialized barrier island. I just spent my 25th anniversary at Jekyll Island just a couple of months ago. So really a near and dear place in my heart, and what such a resource to all Georgians to have that beauty right here, just a short drive away from most of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So did you have any raccoons get into your food at Cumberland Island overnight?
No, we went in the winter to avoid the bugs, but turns out it can get pretty cold down on the coast, depending on the time of year.
A little breezy, just a little breezy. I had an encounter with a coyote on Tybee Island.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, it's a shock to have a coyote just walk right up to you on the beach in the middle of the night. It was startling. Your daughter was there, Commissioner.
Tybee, I don't know if it's true or not, but I know that they try to keep people off the sand dunes, and they have signs that say, watch out for rattlesnakes, right? So,
that would work for me.
Who's going to walk through the sand dunes, with a sign that warning rattlesnakes, Wilson? I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody may be making stuff up, but I think it's effective.
It's effective for me.
Well, Wilson, thank you. I know you guys are getting ready for this integrated resource planning process. It was created in 1991, never been amended by the legislature. It has worked so well for us. And I have people on LinkedIn from other parts of the state, giving me advice, on being a commissioner and telling me what I need to be doing. And that's all well and good. But we do things in a very systematic way here. And that system has moved us forward in green energy leadership. It's allowed us to have a resilient grid. It's made our rates 15% below the national average. It is an effective system. I've come to believe in the IRP process, Wilson.
I do too, Commissioner. I would put our market structure and our robust IRP process, the results it's delivering for customers, up against any other state in the country. Our combination of reliability, low cost, and growth of renewable resources, it really is second to none. And for those that aren't as familiar, the IRP process, it's a public process. There's lots of stakeholder engagement. We are about to debut the brand new 2022 IRP next week. It'll provide the long-term plan for how Georgia Power is going to serve the customers of our state, and it'll be a really robust back and forth between lots of interested parties. This is the process that through which our renewable programs are approved, and so you can expect more renewables to be proposed in the Georgia Power IRP process, more programs being developed to allow specific customers to support renewable resources, but also ensuring that the benefits from these renewables flow through to all of our customers. And so I am a firm believer in the IRP process. I do believe it delivers great results for all Georgia Power customers. For those that are interested, please follow along. That 6-month process starts on Monday of next week, and there'll be lots of great debate, and ultimately we'll end up with a great plan that Commissioner Eccles and the rest of the PSC will approve in the summer of this year.
Thank you, Wilson. Have a great day today. Appreciate you being on.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wilson.
Okay. Hey, Kenneth, good to see you. You work for St. Mary's down there, so you get to spend you get to spend every day in paradise down in St. Mary's. Thanks for being on with us today on Community Focus.
Thank you, Commissioner Eccles. Yes, we're quite blessed. You're talking about our proximity to Florida. Walk 4 blocks down from City Hall, and there you are. But you're still in Georgia, so it's all good.
Wow. Faith, they have a really cool riverfront area there with a beautiful playground. And having 7 kids and now a couple grandkids, I'm a playground freak. So I'm always scouting out playgrounds. Kenneth, the downtown St. Mary's area there, the waterfront as well as the Main Street coming in is pretty popular for folks even around the county.
Yes, it is. And, even in the past 2 years, we've seen a large uptick in traffic in our downtown. A lot of people looking for somewhere to go. They're not looking to, travel across the country. They're exploring what's in their own backyard. And coming to St. Mary's is a great place to do that. You don't end up in St. Mary's by accident. We're at the end of all the roads. You don't pass through here to get to anywhere else. You're coming here on purpose. And people really enjoy that, love seeing that. And like you mentioned, we've got such a beautiful waterfront on the St. Mary's River, including a brand new playground that was recently installed, as an update in that park.
Kenneth, as you think about economic development, you guys are just off 95. You got the military base there, lots of folks living there. What are some of the big economic development projects you guys are working on?
Sure, absolutely. That's a great question. So we've got a couple of things that we've been working on for quite a while. 2 years ago, just about in there, was announced Mr. Jim Jacoby of Jacoby Development, who did the work at Atlantic Station in Atlanta. Was moving in to work on the former Gilman Durango paper mill site in the city. So imagine St. Mary's, when you think of the coastal Georgia, you think of, Savannah, you think of some very historic places with a lot of great, historic buildings. Well, for a long time, St. Mary's was a poor town. We were a port town. We went through a lot of iterations of being shipbuilders or, having shrimpers, working in our port. And so, in the 1950s era, we became a paper mill town. And that was a major lifeblood for our community. And then the base came along. But, in the early 2000s, that paper mill closed. It sat there empty for, since that time. A lot of different people have looked at it. But Mr. Jacoby and his group, Jacoby Development, have actually closed on that property to purchase it out of the bankruptcy. And so you just imagine the same size as downtown, about 700 acres, right next to downtown, is going to be under development within the next, the next year and over the next 10 years. So you're essentially building a second downtown as part of that same grid pattern. And, it's going to transform our communities downtown and really play off of the strengths that we have within it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for being on Community Focus today. I can't wait to get back down your way and make another trip out to Cumberland Island and enjoy your area. So I really appreciate your leadership and what St. Mary's is doing. And I'm so excited about this development. I think who knows what kind of cool shops and lofts and stores and green space. I mean, he at Atlantic Station is an incredible facility. And he does his magic on that. You guys are in for a treat. Thank you very much, Kenneth.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner, Cumberland is where the ponies are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
wild ponies.
Horses, and they're easy to see. You just walk around and you see them, and we even petted some of them. So
that's right up my alley.
Yeah. So Faith, introduce our next guest.
This is Judy Riccio. She is from Faithful Love, which is a ministry that works with women who are being exploited or who have been exploited. And she's going to tell us about that, as well as about an event this weekend called Traffic Jam, which is in Savannah. But Judy is in charge of a satellite site in Brunswick that you can attend this general session without having to go all the way to Savannah. So Judy, start off by telling us what Faithful Love is and what you guys do.
Good morning. Faithful Love is an organization here. I'm in Glenn County, so I'm just up the road from St. Mary's, and Glenn County encompasses Brunswick, Jekyll Island, and St. Simon's Island. And we're an organization that works with adult survivors of trafficking and or exploitation. So we specifically reach out in our communities and surrounding communities to work with women who have been trafficked, who have felt like they have had to sell their bodies in order to get food to eat, drugs, a place to sleep, clothing, any of those amenities that most of us take for granted. And so we have a ministry home in downtown Brunswick, in an area that's known for drug trafficking and sex trafficking. And it is not residential, it's a day program. And so we offer different things through, we have a program that we call Bridge to Hope. And so in our Bridge to Hope program, one of the first things that as we're getting to know women, and we've got several different outreaches we do. We go out on the streets. We go into the area strip club once a month. And we also work with women in the jail that have been arrested and have the exploitation piece of it. And so one thing that we have realized and come to understand is that one of the first things that traffickers take from the women is their personal documents, because then, you know, that they have control over them, and the women really can't get out of their situation because you can't get a home, you can't get food stamps, you really can't get anywhere without your birth certificate, your social security card, your ID. So that's one of the first things that we find out. Do you have personal documentation? If not, then we work at getting those. Our case manager, Julia Martin, works very hard with the women, getting those documents for them. And our heart is to build trust with these women because they don't trust people, and rightfully so. So we work with adults 18 and up, and we offer individual counseling, group counseling, through our Bridge to Hope program, and in our home while we're not residential, the women can come in, we offer a hot meal, they can take a shower, we have a laundry facility, they can do their laundry, we have the soap that they need, we do have a room with a couple beds so that they, while we're open, there's a safe place for them to sleep. And then there's other things that we offer. We have a program called Faithful Gems that we're in the process of revamping, but we have one of our volunteers comes in and teaches them how to make jewelry. And so they can not only learn this, but then they're paid a fair wage. And then we have it in a shop here locally. We have pop-up shops, and anything that's made off that jewelry goes directly back into that program because we provide the supplies and then help the women through that. So we've got a couple programs we're working on to try to expand and see how we can help the women. There are several organizations up in Atlanta that have safe homes for adults. And so our goal is to build the trust with these women and help them understand there is something for them and there's something different. And we wrap support around them, and we want to get them to a safe place that has the long-term, the counseling, the trauma therapy, the addiction therapy, to be able to get that healing and then be able to come back into our community and live a healthy life. And so that's what our goal is. And we are going into our 5th year.
Wow, that's a lot in a short amount of time that you've accomplished.
Judy, let me ask you, because we just have a minute left. How can folks find out about the organization, and do you take donations for your work?
Great question. Thank you. Yes. Follow us on social media. We have a Facebook page, Faithful Love GA. We have Instagram. We have a website at I think you have it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And be watching that because I'm so excited. We've got a new website that's about to launch, and it's going to be expanded where women can get on there and find resources that they need around the state. And we'll have a shop on there where we can put the women's jewelry and things like that. So
Judy, really quick, I want you to tell them about Traffic Jam and how people can get registered for this event this weekend.
Okay, great. So Traffic Jam is in its this is the 7th annual Traffic Jam. It's always the last Saturday of January, because January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And it is always offered at the Savannah State University. And so there are many different programs. Tomorrow, there's one for law enforcement where they can get their post credits, and I believe mental health. And then on Saturday is the general session, and a couple others for social workers, educators. So I'm on the planning team, have been on the planning team this last year with the general session. It is historically the largest one that is attended. And so we decided to offer a couple satellite sites so that people who normally may not be able to get to Savannah would be able to see it in their communities. So Brunswick is one of those sites. So we would love people from Camden County, Jessup, McIntosh to be able to come. It's going to be an amazing program. We'll start off with a survivor talking to us about sex trafficking 101. We have got Erica Mortensen and her cohort from CJCC coming to talk with us about labor trafficking, specifically migrant trafficking happening in Georgia. And then we have a prevention piece, and also a piece where people can learn about advocacy and how you can get associated and help in your own community. And so we'll have vendors there from Glenn County that either work hands-on or have some type of work in the community where they are working with trafficked victims.
That's awesome.
And that's Saturday. You can register. You go on the CD or the site and register. And if you're going to come to the Brunswick one, you would just make sure in that drop-down box where you register that you register for the Brunswick site.
Awesome.
And we're offering free lunch. So.
Judy, thank you for being with us today and for all your work. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kenneth, thank you for your work there at the city. Appreciate you being on with us. Faith, where are we going next week?
Next week, we will be in Peachtree Corners. And then February 10th, we'll be in Fayetteville, and the 17th, we'll be in Norcross. So coming back up to more of the metro Atlanta area in the next few weeks.
Everyone, thanks for being on. You can catch Community Focus every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. So have a great day and a great weekend, everybody. God bless you.
Thanks so much.